Good day I wish to everyone. My name is Behi Hong, metric number 2711513, and I will be the presenter for the presentation for today. And the topic for this presentation is, should classes about mental health and wellness be added to school curriculum? For me, I strongly believe that classes about mental health and wellness should be added to school curriculum. So why is that? So why did I say so? I will explain it in further slides. And now I will first explain some definitions about the topic, which means the introduction of it and the overview. So in research from Feldman 2020, cognitive, behavioral, and emotional health are all included in the term mental health. Mental health and wellness play an important role in everyone's life because it can affect our daily living, physical, and relationships with others. Up until now, most conversations regarding mental health have taken place in whispers, despite the fact that 1 in 4 individuals worldwide have a mental disease. People are afraid to ask for treatment because of the stigma attached to such issues. Instead, they suffer in quiet and occasionally even in ignorance. However, some individuals are unaware of mental issues that are currently manipulating their acts of behavior due to the lack of knowledge regarding mental awareness. The issue can pile up into a massive problem that will bring many negative effects, especially nowadays. Mental health issues are more common day by day in children and adolescents. Unless the school makes a particular effort, students are not taught anything in class regarding their mental health. This causes a lack of awareness, which causes a variety of issues. We may not seek assistance when we need it as a result of our lack of understanding about mental health. According to research from the Center for Mental Health, young people with mental health problems typically have to wait up to 10 years before receiving the necessary care. Therefore, class about mental health and wellness should be included in school curriculum as a compulsory course for students to enroll in. So, there are three main ideas for this topic, which includes suicide is the third leading cause of death for ages 10 to 24. So the subtopic for it is an individual that ages 10 to 24 are mostly students, and individuals at such a young age has started to feel stress. The second point of this topic is mental health is equally important as physical health. The subtopic for it is lack of family education and also more concern about physical health rather than mental health. And the third main idea for this topic is most of students' stress and anxiety come from school and the individuals there. The subtopic for it includes high expectations from parents, and also school is a stressful environment. Okay, when we talk about the first point, suicide is the third leading cause of death for ages 10 to 24. I believe that most of you are clear about what is suicide. So, suicide, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, teens who intentionally kill themselves are defined as committing suicide. This is due, and also the subtopic for this idea is an individual that ages 10 to 24 are mostly students. When an individual is aged 10 to 24, what is the first thought that comes to mind? The first thing that comes to my mind is that an individual at this range of age are mostly students, which means that they are mostly studying in school, no matter in primary school, secondary school, or university. So this means that it is a great opportunity for schools to implement courses related to mental health and wellness, especially if the course is a compulsory course in every student's syllabus. This will definitely help instill the knowledge of mental awareness towards students so that they are aware of this serious issue and also will find a solution to cope with stress or problems they are facing at that moment instead of choosing suicide as their way of solving problem. This can also be clearly seen because individuals at such a young age has started to feel stress. As we all know, teenage years are a challenging period because this is the moment where they will experience major changes which consist of modifications to the body, ideas, and emotions. This might affect teenagers' ability to solve problems and make decisions, for example, being impacted by intense emotions of stress, bewilderment, anxiety, and doubt. According to a Mission Australia study conducted in 2015, over 40% of 15 to 19 years olds has had serious concerns about their capacity to handle stress. And this is all due to, for example, homework, tests, life changes, lack of time, social relationships, and many more. Therefore, courses about mental health and awareness and wellness should definitely be added into school curriculum so that it can increase the awareness of this mental health to every student. The second point is mental health is equally important as physical health. So why is that so? Again, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, adults with symptoms of anxiety or depression illness increased from 36 to 42% between August 2020 and February 2021. And also another study shows, according to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, 1 in 5 US individuals had a mental disease in 2020 and 1 in 20 had to contend with a major mental illness. So the stigma prevents the great majority of people from seeking treatment, even though more people are struggling with mental health and drug use disorders. And all of this can be related to lack of family education because everything every knowledge is built up from a young age because we are not born with knowledge. We learn from the day we were born little by little, and the first step of learning a new knowledge comes from family, comes from your parents, because besides school education, family education for teenagers is the most important part for these youngsters to learn from. And perhaps the most important persons in our life that we can consider is our family members because they typically take care of us from the moment we are born, guiding us through our environment and forming our perspective of the world. Our parents teach us everything they know and seem to have the answers to most of our questions, either via experience or knowledge. So we look to them for direction and confidence, especially as youngsters. But there comes a question, what if we are experiencing mental distress and our relatives, our family members have little understanding of mental health? What if they don't believe in mental illness like depression and anxiety? Our parents may no longer be omniscient and unable to provide us the assistance we required because back then, mental health is not a common thing to be discussed, no matter globally or between friends and families. This issue tends to be neglected, and the lack of knowledge can be detrimental to those affected by poor mental health or mental health disorders. Hence, school education plays as the second most important role in educating youngsters and teenagers regarding mental health. Furthermore, we always ignore the importance of mental health as well as physical health, because we are actually more concerned about physical health rather than mental health. And many of us has forgotten that mental health and physical health is actually equally important. Physical health problems are increasing significantly, but this will also increase our risk of developing mental health problems and vice versa, because mental health and physical health actually affect each other. Mental health problems are not an easy problem to be determined because mental health is the inner part of our body, while physical health can be determined by our appearance. So just think about it. We normally visit a doctor when we feel sick or ill, right? But we seldom think of visiting a psychologist when we feel stressed or depressed because we were less comprehending about the importance of mental health compared to physical health. And we tend to swallow everything, including stress, anxiety, depression. We tend to swallow everything in ourselves and never speak up about this issue. In fact, the bad effects that brings to us by mental health problems is equally severe compared to physical health problems. Okay, so this comes to the last point of this presentation, which is most of students' stress and anxiety come from school and the individuals that. First thing first, high expectations from parents. Every parent wants their kids to have the greatest possible future. They want to provide their kids all the possibilities they didn't have because they don't want them to lose out on anything. And because of this, many parents have high expectations for their kids. But what does it really mean to have high expectations? For my understanding, it means that what parents are looking for in their children is to do more or be better than what they are currently doing. Besides that, parents are likely to compare their children with other kids in terms of homework, exam results, even life achievements. They might have the misconception that all the comparisons and expectations is a motivation for their children to be better or to achieve higher targets. But little do they know, this kind of act or behavior is actually demotivating their child and also brings along pressure and stress. Children at this young age are not used to coping with stress and might feel helpless because they can seek help from their family members. Therefore, they will suffer from anxiety and or depression after being immersed in stress for a long period of time. Besides that, school is also a stressful environment. Some of us might think that school is a wonderful place where individuals gain knowledge, learn new stuff, play with friends, or participating in fun activities, and many more. Schools may be stressful environments since kids and teenagers spend a lot of time there. And also exams assessments, new friendships, and other challenges must be managed by students, and this is where the source of stress comes from. They may also pay attention, they must also pay attention to their academic and professional futures. Some kids even experience some form of bullying in school, and this has been an issue since the rise of education. The Star reports that bullying is so pervasive among Malaysian students that a recent national poll revealed that 8 out of 10 Malaysian kids had experienced bullying in their various schools. And also, according to FMT, Free Malaysia Today, 64% of the 2,000 youngsters under the age of 18 who participated in the poll admitted to participating in or possibly participating in acts of bullying. All of this can cause some serious mental issue towards these individuals, including depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and antisocial problems such as problems at school, substance use, and also aggressive behavior. In the end, they will have the feeling of being left out and abandoned by everyone, and this may lead to many severe disorders that may affect one's life. Hence, teaching kids stress management skills is helpful in preventing mental health issues. As a conclusion, I strongly believe that classes about mental health and wellness should be added to school curriculum due to three main reasons as stated previously, including suicide is the third leading cause of death for ages 10 to 24. Mental health is equally important as physical health. Most of students' stress and anxiety come from school and the individuals there, because research has shown that at a very young age, individuals have started to develop mental health issues. This is due to the fact that educations regarding mental health and wellness are seldom taught in school or at home by their parents. Thus, it is crucial that educators and students become more familiar with the warning signals of mental health issues. Schools must understand the value of teaching mental health, and this will show a better result for kids and teenagers that comes from teaching both physical and mental health simultaneously. Numerous aspects of students' life, such as their interactions with others and use of drugs and alcohol, are impacted by their mental health. And this will be improved if schools implement courses that related to mental health and wellness. And children and teenagers will also function better in their life if they learn more about mental health in school. So there's a question I want to leave to the community, which is test results really that important? Because I believe that every kid, every individual is unique in their own way. They have their own ability in different ways. It's not just about taking exams and looking at their test results. So I believe that educations must focus on finding the ability of that individual, and also find out their capability in doing something, and then grow in that particular way so that they aren't lost or lost track to, like, maybe they are, for example, they are good at math, but the school insists of letting them learn very deep English words. So this might lead to like stress, and then will bury their ability in some particular way, and their ability will never be found. So this question I will leave to you all to think about it. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.